Hello everyone. Welcome to the second lecture of week 7 on modernization and creative communication. In the previous lecture, we had focused on the role of media shaping our communication and the creative communication pattern. In this lecture, we will explore a fundamental transformation in the way societies communicate, the shift from print to digital media. This shift is not just technological but deeply theoretical, rooted in ideas about how communication evolves and shape human behavior. Media theorists like Marshall McLuhan famously stated, "The medium is the message," implying that the medium through which we communicate shapes our perceptions, behaviors, and culture. Similarly, scholars like Harold Innis emphasize the role of communication technologies in shaping civilizations, dividing media into time-biased, durable like stone tablets, and space-biased, flexible like digital platforms. With key theoretical frameworks in mind, we can explore the transformative journey of digital media across 4 critical areas. First, the transition from print to digital media, which marks a shift from the depth and durability of print aligned with Harold Innis's time-biased media to the immediacy and flexibility of space-biased digital platforms. This evolution has redefined how societies share and consume information, emphasizing speed and global reach over permanence. Second, digital media's influence on daily life, which is profound, affecting how we access information, interact socially, and engage with the world. Platforms like Google News and YouTube provide curated on-demand information, while social media and mass messaging apps redefine relationships and connections. The adaptability of digital media was particularly evident during the pandemic, right? Where tools like Zoom and Microsoft Teams, Google Meet became indispensable for personal and professional communication. Third, the benefits and challenges of this shift, which highlights the dual nature of digital media. On the one hand, it offers unprecedented speed, we agree, accessibility, and interactivity, empowering users to participate actively in conversations and content creation. But on the other hand, it presents challenges like misinformation, privacy concerns, and of course, digital divide, which underscores the need for inclusivity and ethical practices in the digital age. And finally, key trends shaping the digital landscape. Here, these trends point to the future of communication or media consumption and interaction. Personalization through AI aligns with the cultural shift toward individualization, while short-form content on platforms like TikTok caters to fast-paced lifestyle. Technologies like AR, augmented reality, and virtual reality create immersive experiences, reshaping how we engage with media. With sustainability concerns push for ethical approaches to digital communication. Now, let's think about how communication has changed over the years. For a long time, print media was at the heart of how we shared information. Newspapers, books, and magazines dominated the scene. The printing press, back when it was introduced in late 15th century, was groundbreaking. It made knowledge more accessible to everyone, not just the elite. It was a game changer that empowered people and shaped societies for centuries. But then there was a shift. The things shifted. Entered the digital revolution in the 20th or the late 20th century. The internet came along and completely disrupted the traditional print model. By the early 21st century, digital platforms weren't just an alternative, they became the primary way people accessed information. The immediacy and convenience they offered were really unmatching with what print media had given. Think about it. Decades ago, families would gather around the breakfast table with the morning newspaper, catching up with the latest updates together. Now, that same news pops up on your phone as push notifications before the paper even hits the press. Whether it's through apps, websites, or WhatsApp groups, news is now instant and constant. But this change isn't just about speed. It also makes us wonder what we have gained and what we have lost. Sure, we have more access to information than we had before, but does that come at the cost of the depth and reflection? And what about issues like misinformation or the loss of shared experiences? This shift from print to pixels is about more than just technology. It's about how we connect, think, and engage with the world around us. If you talk to a person from the late 90s, they will of course go for the newspapers, which can be opened in the vast dining table and be read at ease. But now with the small mobile phone, it's pretty tough, ain't it? So as we discuss this the transition from traditional to digital media, it's important to highlight the key milestones that marked this evolution. These milestones showcase how media consumption has changed over the decades and the significant role technological advancements have played in shaping this shift. Let's break it down by time periods. The 1990s marked the beginning of digital media revolution within the launch of online news platforms like CNN.com and BBC Online. This was a transformative period when news consumption began shifting from print and television to the internet. Now, why it is so significant? For the first time, users could access news in real time, breaking free from the constraints of print schedules and broadcasting timings, as I mentioned. This transition laid the foundation for instant information access, which became a hallmark of digital media today. Scholars like Manuel Castells, in his work The Rise of the Network Society, have emphasized the period as the dawn of the information age, where digital platform began to redefine how societies consume and share knowledge. The 2000s brought another significant milestone: the rise of social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. These platforms transformed media from one-way communication channel to an interactive participatory space. Social media enabled users to not only consume content but also create and share it. This democratization of information reshaped how individuals and brands connect with audiences. Henry Jenkins, in his work on participatory culture, highlights how platforms like Facebook foster a two-way interaction, making users active participants rather than passive consumers of media. In the 2010s, the proliferation of mobile apps podcasts, and streaming services revolutionized content accessibility and engagement. The smartphone became a primary tool for consuming media, with apps like Insta and YouTube driving engagement. Platforms like Spotify and Netflix offered personalized on-demand content, catering to the growing need for convenience and customization. Scholars analyzing media in this period, such as Neil Postman in Technopoly, argue that these advancements not only altered how we consume content but also shaped cultural norms around convenience and immediacy. Understanding these milestones help us appreciate how media has evolved into interconnected, interactive, and personalized ecosystem we navigate today. Each phase, online news portals, social media, and mobile-centric content, reflects an ongoing adaptation to technological progress and changing user preferences. Now let's take a closer look at how digital media has transformed our daily lives across multiple dimensions. From the way we consume information to how we interact socially, shop, and entertain ourselves, digital platforms have redefined the norms of communication and engagement. Each of these areas reflect a broader cultural and technological shift, highlighting the deep integration of digital media into our routines. Digital platforms now provide personalized on-demand content that caters to individual needs, replacing traditional one-size-fits-all approaches. Algorithms on platforms like Google News or Spotify curate content based on user preferences, ensuring that information we consume feels relevant and immediate. This personalization reflects the user's and gratification theory as given by Blumler and Katz in 1974, which explains that people turn to media to fulfill specific needs such as information or entertainment. Digital media has taken this to the next level, offering tailored experiences that traditional media couldn't achieve. Now, social interaction. Social media, social media platforms have not only redefined how we connect with others, but also reshaped societal norms and behaviors. From Instagram's polished highlight reels to Twitter's real-time debates, these platforms influence how we present ourselves and engage with other communities. The social construction of technology, SCOT theory, this theory highlights that technology adapts based on societal needs or norms. Social media platforms reflect this by adapting their features like stories or reels to align with how people prefer to share and consume content. This prime interplay between media and social norms demonstrates how deeply intertwined our virtual and real lives have become. Now, we come to the part of shopping and advertising. The rise of digital media has blurred the lines between reality and simulation, particularly in shopping and advertising. E-commerce platforms like Amazon and augmented reality tools allow users to experience and products virtually that of course we will be talking in detail in upcoming lectures. But why does this matter? Jean Baudelaire's concept of hyperreality explains this phenomena, where the digital representation of reality can feel as or even more authentic than the physical world. For example, AR features that let users try on products like clothes or makeup, create a seamless connection between consumers and brands, driving both engagement and trust. Now we come talk about this entertainment. Digital media has revolutionized entertainment by empowering users as creators, blurring the boundaries between consumers and producers. Platforms like TikTok or YouTube enable individuals to create content, making everyone a potential influencers or artist. This trend aligns with Henry Jenkins' theory of participatory culture, which emphasizes the rise of user-generated content and collaborative media. In today's digital ecosystem, traditional hierarchies in media productions have dissolved, giving users the tools to not just consume content but actively shape cultural narratives. But now let us see the benefits and challenges of digital media. To do this, let us first talk about the benefits. Digital media has revolutionized the way we access and interact with information, offering several distinct advantages that have reshaped communication and information dissemination. One of the most remarkable benefits of digital media is its speed. Information can now be delivered instantly and often in real-time mode. Whether it's breaking news or live updates, digital media ensures that users are always connected to the global events as they unfold. This immediacy keeps individuals informed and engaged, making it possible to respond quickly to development of these matters. Another significant advantage of digital media is its accessibility. As you all know, even you who are attending the classes now must be holding the mobile phones, right? Unlike traditional print media, which often incurs high costs for production and distribution, digital platforms are generally more affordable and widely available. This affordability breaks down the barriers to information access, empowering more people to stay informed regardless of their geographical location or economic status. Digital media has truly democratized information, making it a resource available to a broader audience than ever before. Digital media also fosters interactivity, encouraging users to move beyond passive consumption of content. Platforms enable active participation, allowing individuals to share opinions, join discussions, and even contribute their own creations. This participatory environment transforms users into co-creators of content, promoting a sense of community and engagement. Whether it's through comments, like, or shared posts, digital media enables people to interact with content and with each other in ways that traditional media ever cannot meet. In summary, I would say the speed, accessibility, and interactivity of digital media have created a more connected and engaged global community. These benefits highlight its transformative role in modern communication and underscores its importance in our daily lives. But then there are some challenges, as we have already gone through this, but let us focus on this. Rapid spread of misinformation is one of the most pressing challenges of digital media. As highlighted by Wardle, the open nature of digital media platforms allows false information to proliferate very quickly than ever, often bypassing traditional checks and balances. Unlike print media, where content is typically curated, digital platforms enable the viral spread of unverified claims. Viral WhatsApp forwards during the COVID-19 or during now the elections or health crisis have often led to widespread confusion and fear. These unchecked narratives can shape public opinion and even influence critical decision making processes. Researchers have argued that this prevalence of fake news undermines trust in credible sources, emphasizing the need for robust fact-checking mechanisms and digital literacy initiatives to counter misinformation. The issue of, again, not only that, the issue of privacy in the digital era is another critical challenge. Zuboff, in her seminal work, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism, explains how digital platforms collect and monetize user data to power targeted advertising. While this model drives personalization, it often comes at the cost of user privacy. Data breaches and scandals such as the Cambridge Analytica case reveal how user data can be exploited for political and economic gains. Then you have even Leon in 2018 critiques this pervasive data surveillance, nothing that it creates an imbalance of power between platforms and users where individuals lose control over their personal information. Addressing these concerns requires stronger regulatory frameworks and shift towards ethical data practices, as emphasized by Floridi in his work in 2013 on information ethics. So, the design of digital platforms, often referred as attention economy, I think you must have gone through this, prioritizes user engagement over well-being. Features like endless scrolling or push notifications are engineered to capture and retain the attention, but they come at a cost. Carr in 2010 in the book The Shallows, What the Internet is Doing to Our Brains, argues that such constant simulation reshapes cognitive process, reducing our ability to focus and think deeply. Despite its widespread adoption, digital media has not achieved what we call universal inclusivity. The digital divide, as Castells discusses in The Rise of the Network Society, highlights disparities in access to technology and the internet, particularly in underprivileged communities. This divide perpetuates existing inequalities, limiting access to education, employment, and social participation for marginalized groups. Washer expands on this, emphasizing that digital literacy alongside access is critical for bridging the divide. Without addressing these gaps, the benefits of digital media cannot be equitably distributed. Now, the digital media landscape, of course, is constantly evolving, driven by emerging trends that reflect technological advancement and shifting cultural practices. These trends can be better understood, as I mentioned, through theoretical frameworks and that offer deeper insights into how digital media shapes and is shaped by human behavior and society. Let's explore some key trends and their theoretical underpinnings. Postmodernist theories highlight the fragmentation and individualization of the media landscape. Traditional media forms are increasingly giving way to diverse online content. Users can curate their own media experiences, choosing from a vast array of content tailored for for their specific interest. This fragmentation challenges the notion of a unified media culture and empowers individuals to construct their own media realities. The rise of niche online communities and social media platforms like Reddit, where users can find highly specific content and engage with like-minded individuals, reflects the fragmentation of the media landscape. Media dependency theory posits that as our reliance on media grows, so does our dependence on quick, easily digestible content. In today's fast-paced world, users seek out concise and efficient information delivery. This trend is evident in the rise of short-term videos, bite-sized news articles, and social media updates. The demand for quick, easily consumable content shapes the way media is produced and consumed, prioritizing brevity and engagement over depths. Now, say for example, as I was discussing, the popularity of TikTok with its short form video content or video format exemplifies the trend towards quick and easily acceptable content. Users can consume a large amount of content in short period, satisfying their need for constant stimulation. So, from a constructivist perspective, technologies like augmented reality or virtual reality are revolutionizing the way we engage with media. These immersive experiences offer new ways to interact with content, blurring the lines between the virtual and the real. From gaming and entertainment to education and training, AR and VR are transforming how we learn, work, or play. Virtual reality, as you can see in gaming experiences offered by platforms like Oculus Rift, allow users to fully immerse themselves in digital worlds, creating a sense of presence and agency. So, Alvin Toffler's prosumer theory explains how users are increasingly acting as both producers and consumers of the particular content they prepare. With the democratization of media production tools, individuals can now create and share their own content, challenging traditional hierarchies in media production. User-generated content has become a significant force in shaping online discourse and influencing public opinion. So, you must have seen the platforms like YouTube or Instagram, where individuals are empowered to create and share their own content, blurring the lines between producer and consumer. Influencers on these platforms build large followings and can monetize their content, demonstrating the power of user generated content. So, here I say that Neil Postman, and among others, has raised concerns about the environmental impact of digital media. The energy consumption associated with data storage, streaming, and device manufacturing poses a significant challenge, I must say. As the digital landscape expands, there is a growing need for sustainable practices to minimize the ecological footprint of our online activities. This includes exploring energy efficient data centers, promoting responsible device disposals, and encouraging digital minimalism. So, say for example, the increasing awareness of environmental impact on data centers and electronic waste has led to initiatives like green data centers, which use the energy efficient technologies and renewable energy sources. Additionally, the rise of e-waste recycling programs that you must have come across aims to reduce the environmental impact of discarded electronic vehicles. So, these 5 trends that I have discussed so far are reshaping the digital landscape in profound ways. Fragmentation, quick consumption, immersive experiences, user-generated content and sustainability considerations are all driving the evolution of how we interact with media and information. Understanding these trends is crucial for navigating the complexities of the digital age and shaping its future. Now, the transition from from print to digital media is not just a technological shift then what it is? It's a profound transformation that has reshaped our society and our individual lives. It provides what? It provides a powerful lens through which we can examine and understand the broader changes taking place around us. As we explored in this lecture, the rise of digital media has ushered in a new era of information access, communication, and cultural exchange. It has democratized information, empowering individuals to connect with diverse perspectives and create their own content. However, it has also raised concerns about issues like misinformation, privacy, and digital divide. Now, I want to turn the spotlight on you. Think about how digital media has shaped your own habits and interactions. How has it changed the way you consume news, you socialize, or you learn? Are there specific platforms or technologies that have had a significant impact on your life? Are there theoretical perspectives that resonate with your experiences? Do you find yourself drawn to the idea of the digital divide, the concept of the global village, or the notion of the networked self? So, with these questions, we try to draw a conclusion here. So, we have seen the shift from print to digital media, and we have seen it is not a technological phenomena but a cultural and societal revolution. As Neil Postman wisely observed, technology shapes society, but it is our understanding and use of it that determines its true impact. So, it's up to us to harness the power of technology for good and to ensure that it serves humanity's best interests. Thank you.